The information in this episode is current as of the date recorded and is not intended as financial, tax, or legal advice. You should consult your tax, financial, and or legal advisors before implementing any transactions and or strategies concerning your finances.
Hello, my name is Jakob Brost, and I'm an associate advisor at John Gelman Associates. Today, we're here to talk about new rules for financial advisors and the retirement confidence in the United States. First up, we're going to talk about new rules for financial advisors. This doesn't affect all of them, but it affects a good chunk. Recently, it's been decided that financial professionals will have to adhere to more fiduciary standards. That basically means that they have to act in your best interest no matter what conflicts, fees, compensation they might have going on in the background. It always has to be in the client's best interest no matter what. Well, that seems pretty straightforward, and like it always should have been a rule and guideline for the industry. It hasn't been. Certain other professions have been guided under the suitability standards, which is basically if it fits their needs and best interests and it needs to be suitable for their situation and risk tolerance. So in that case, there could be two good options, maybe one that gives a financial advisor better compensation versus the other one. They're likely to choose that one, but with the fiduciary, they're bounded to choose the best option that is in your best interest and fits your situation better than the other, no matter what is behind the scenes. This is especially important in today's day and age, now that pension plans and simple retirement plans are kind of phasing out a bit more. It's been guided more towards individuals taking care of their own retirement and dealing with their investments and all of their accounts. So having a financial professional take a look is extremely important, and it's even more important having them looking out for your best interests. One easy way, specifically in the financial planning realm, to know if your advisor adheres to the fiduciary rules is if they are a CFP or a certified financial planner. All CFPs are bound by the fiduciary guidelines, so you'll know they're always working in your best interest. This is something you can definitely keep an eye out as you look for financial advisors, and something to keep in mind for sure. Now we're going to go into some retirement confidence and some different interesting stats and facts around that. So 2/3 of Americans feel they can retire comfortably. I think that's pretty straightforward. I didn't really have any thoughts there, but one thing I was a bit surprised on is that 1/3 of retirees said that their travel, entertainment, and leisure expenses were quite a bit higher than what they expected. With retirement being such an important transition in your life and expenses being one of the most important aspects of the plan to have figured out, it's really important to have those nailed down and always be more conservative with those estimates. So always overestimate a little bit rather than underestimate, because while it doesn't seem like much each year, but a couple $1,000s can really throw your plan off if you're taking them out of accounts and not letting them grow any longer. Following up on that same idea, half of retirees say their overall retirement expenses are higher than initially expected. This is a little bit concerning, considering that's the kind of the foundation of your plan and what it relies on. Again, that couple extra $1,000s you need each year can really make a big difference in your plan. One thing I was kind of surprised I didn't see in the article was about medical expenses. These are one of the biggest unknowns in the next 20 or 30 years, and what that might look like, with medical getting so expensive and new treatments coming out. We have no idea really what to expect, so we're always extremely conservative in our estimates and really overestimating that just to see what their retirement might look like and make sure the plans can hold through some really expensive medical expenses. Another thing I didn't see anything about was unexpected costs. This could be maybe something in your house breaks down, your car breaks down, you have an unexpected car payment, maybe you get in a crash and your insurance shoots right up to the roof. These are all things that you need to make sure to take into account when building out your retirement plan and what your expenses might look like during that time. So here's a couple more statistics. Half of Americans have calculated how much they need for retirement. 1/3 of workers estimated they would need 1.5 million or more, but many have less than 50,000 and 14 have less than 1,000. That's extremely concerning, considering that huge number, that 1.5 million that they estimate they need to retire. with many being less than 50K and 14% of those being less than 1K. That's really concerning. One thing I wasn't sure from the article, but with a lot of these retirement calculators you might find on the internet, there's a lot of aspects and things that they don't take into account. So one of the big ones being taxes. While it's great to say, oh, I need $60,000 a year to live on, multiply that by 30 years, how long you expect to live in retirement, it's easy to get that number. But if you're taking this money out of IRAs, it could be taxable, and depending on where you live and what state you're in, it could be taxed easily at 20, 30, 40%. So you're always going to be taking out more than what you actually expect to take out. Again, with this being such a pivotal transition, you want to be sure. You certainly don't want to be entering retirement and after 15 years when you're 75 or 80 having to enter the workforce just to make ends meet. So going along with some more statistics from the article, one I saw was 7 in 10 reported retiring earlier than age 65. I was pretty surprised with this because I thought a lot of people really stuck to the Social Security guidelines and following the full retirement age based on their birth year, with Social Security being kind of a good time to start when you can get that full benefit. Another statistic from the article was that most people started collecting Social Security at age 64. This is something you definitely have to take into account when deciding when to retire, and especially deciding when to take it. If you take it earlier than your full retirement age, your benefit will be decreased from your original amount. And also, if you defer it a year or two after your full retirement age, it can also increase. So in total, if you take it at the earliest age of 62, your benefit can be decreased up to 30%. Each year you delay Social Security from your full retirement age, which is usually 66 to 67, depending on your birth year, it increases the benefit 8% each year. This is a huge decrease if you take it early and a huge increase if you delay it a little bit. So it's something you definitely need to take into account when deciding your retirement. While there's no magic ball telling us how long we'll live, generally, the longer you live, the more benefit you'll receive from delaying that. And another thing to take into account is your family health history. If your family tends to live to late 90s, early 100s very consistently, it could definitely provide a huge benefit to delay that versus taking it earlier. Another statistic from the article is that 2/3 of the workforce had a full stop in retirement. I thought this was pretty surprising, I guess. 2/3 having a full stop, and when I say full stop, I don't mean a planned retirement. This was a kind of a hard stop, unexpected, and it was out of their control. This is why it can be very important to talk to someone like a financial planner and really plan out your retirement, because you never know when that call could come telling you you should start planning your retirement or anything like that. So it's definitely something you need to plan in advance, and it's something you definitely don't want to be figuring out at the last minute. One last statistic that I found pretty interesting from the article is that a lot of workers said they would work in retirement, but only 3 of 10 said they actually ended up doing it. This is another thing, like those expenses in retirement, that can make or break a plan. If you're planning for $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 of income in retirement through working part-time, maybe a couple benefits of your job, and you decide not to work, which is completely up to you, but that can really put a big hitch in your plan and make some changes as to how much you can spend each year and how long you're going to have your money last while you're in retirement. And again, the last thing you want to be is 80 years old, running out of money and having to rely on the government or going back into the workforce to make ends meet. Thank you for watching and hearing more about new rules for financial planners and retirement confidence in the United States. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel to find out when our next video drops. You can subscribe by clicking the YouTube logo in your screen. Thank you.